Hello, witches. Come on into this live broadcast. This broadcast is not going to be for the faint of heart. This broadcast is going to be raw, uncensored, and no apologies will be made. I'm going to get straight to the point. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to spare anybody's feelings. If you are easily offended, this broadcast will not be for you. If you are transgendered, this broadcast is for you. If you want to know the truth, this broadcast is for you. We had a shooting, like so many others, about 2 or 3 days ago at a school. And I say school because even though it was, a Christian school, how often have I said to you, which is straight up, that Christian schools are not schools because they do not educate. Just to put this out in the open, okay? Transgendered women are women. Transgendered men are men. There's more to sexuality besides what is in between your legs. There is more to gender than what is in between your legs. There has always been this debate. Is it nature or nurture that makes you male or female? I am straight. I identify as a female. But I have friends that are transgendered. There are many witches here watch this broadcast who are witches and also transgender. Yeah, America has a gun problem. But tonight we're going to be talking about transgenders. It's been noted that the shooter was a transgendered person. Okay, but look at how transgendered people are treated in this country. They're treated like dogs on the street that are on their last leg. Transgender people in America are treated like a dog on the street that's on its last leg. There are so many laws already passed, so many laws about to be passed that hurt the transgender community. Oh, you're not a man. Oh, you're not a woman. Transgendered women are women. Transgendered men are men. You are a man. You are a woman. I personally feel like a female. A transgendered woman may not feel like the male that they were born. Don't you think that transgender people know? Don't you think that they're smart enough to figure out that once they go in to get surgery to change their sexual parts, there is no going back? There is no going back. They can't get it back. They can't get that vagina or penis or breast back. They know that already. They're not stupid by any stretch of the imagination. This shooting that happened at this school, because it was a school, I said this before, Christian schools are not schools. They do not educate. Yes, they do. No, they don't. They do not educate. I'm not saying that the people deserve to be killed, but they kind of set themselves up to be. And you have to ask yourself, well, if it's a Christian school, which it was, how come Jesus did not protect his sheep? Nobody's asking that question. How come Jesus, how come their God did not prevent the shooting from happening? This was a Christian school. Why didn't Christ protect his sheep? Why did he not protect his people? Nobody wants to ask that question, but let me tell you something right now. People are asking that question behind closed doors. And I'm bringing it to the forefront, live here. Nobody has an answer for that. That might sound harsh, that might sound evil, that might sound mean-spirited, but it's the truth. Why didn't Christ prevent the shooting at his own school? Even though Christian schools are not schools, because they do not educate. America has a gun problem. You do not need a weapon of war. You do not need an anti-aircraft gun. You do not. And Nashville, Tennessee has been especially harsh to the transgender community. Transgender people are treated like a dog on its last leg. Treated horribly wrong. Like I said earlier, I'm not saying these people deserve to die. But I am saying, what is a transgender person supposed to do when they can't take no more? What are they supposed to do when they cannot take anymore? Everybody has a limit. Everybody has a limit. You might not like what I just said, but it's the truth. Everybody has a breaking point. Why didn't Christ protect his people? Blaming the entire trans community for what one transgender person did is called scapegoating. Making a whole group of people seem like villains. We know that people on the right, we know that evangelicals, we know that Christians hate trans people. They may say, oh, we don't hate trans people. We just want them to stay as the sex they were born. And they say, oh, it's a sin to change your sex. Why are Christians so obsessed with another person's body parts unless they themselves is a pervert? You are a pervert if you are concerned about somebody else's body parts. If you are concerned about somebody else's body parts, you are a pervert. And you probably are on that special list. You know what that list is. This happened and Christians jumped right onto it. Christians said after the shooting, see, you see how dangerous these transgender people are. You see what happens when we allow them to exist. You see what happens when we allow trans people to live. They should not even be on this planet. And of course, this is going to make lawmakers push even more strict, ridiculous, and downright stupid laws against trans people. You worry about drag shows, you worry about banning TikTok, and you cannot even protect your own people. Christ cannot even protect his own people in his own schools. And you're worried about drag shows, you're worried about trans people. You're making trans people out to be scapegoats when they are not even considered human among Christians. Oh, why are you going so hard for trans people? Why are you supporting trans people? Like I said earlier, I have friends that are trans. Some of you witches watching now, either live here or on the replay, are trans. And if I don't stand up for you witches who are trans, who will? And like I said at the beginning, what is a trans person supposed to do when they can't take no more? You can't categorize an entire group of people being mentally ill or a psychopath. And by the way, being transgendered does not make you mentally ill. If you are trans, you are not mentally ill. You're not. Back in the 1970s, you were thought to be mentally ill if you were trans. But it's 2023. The world has changed. We now know that trans people, LGBTQ people, are not insane. They're very sane. Some of your favorite celebrities and politicians are on the down low. Men sucking dicks. Women eating pussy. Yes, I said it. I said this broadcast was not going to be for the faint of heart. I'm telling you what's just the truth. Sucking dick, eating pussy of the same sex. You are gay. You are gay. Oh no, I only let a man suck my dick because men have stronger jaws. Yeah, I just said that out loud. Because that's what people are saying behind closed doors. That's what people are saying behind closed doors. Might not like it, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Ever since this shooting happened, Christians have piled on the trans community and said, see. You see how these animals, you see how these demons, you see how these disgusting filth, this scum of the earth, these dogs on their last legs, these dogs that should be put down are behaving? Christians are not safe as long as trans people exist. We have to protect our children. We have to ban TikTok. This happened in a Christian school. Why didn't Jesus protect his sheep? Does anybody have an answer for that? No, you don't. You do not. And don't pull out an answer out of your booty hole, because you do not have an answer. But I know it's 100% wrong to blame the entire community for this. Trans people are treated so horribly in this country. It's unbelievable. Trans people, don't get it twisted now. Trans people do have the responsibility of telling the person that they are dating that they are trans. That's their responsibility. That's their responsibility. Trans people have to inform the person that they are dating that they are trans. That's the trans person's responsibility. Because it's very easily to find a trans person dead on the street or dead underneath a bed at a hotel. I know I'm talking to somebody here live or on a replay. Because it's true. It's true. It's 100% true. You can't blame the entire trans community for what one trans person did. I don't know what was going on with that person and why they decided to shoot up a school. I don't know why. I don't. I really don't. But I know, like I said earlier, there must have been something. I'm not making excuses. I'm not defending the person who killed those children, those adults. No, I'm not. But something evidently did happen. Something evidently did happen to make that person snap. But you cannot, and I will not allow you to blame the entire trans community for what one transgender person did. It's not going to go down like that. It's not happening. Because that's stupid. That's why. It's stupid. It's stupid. We have a gun problem. And these parents don't want thoughts and prayers. These parents do not want thoughts and prayers. What the fuck am I going to do with thoughts and prayers? I can't do shit with that. Can I keep it real? Thoughts and prayers every time a school gets shut up. Thoughts and prayers every time a supermarket gets shut up. I don't want that shit. Take your thoughts and prayers and shove it up your ass. Take your thoughts and prayers and shove it up your ass. Choke to death on it. And no, I'm not speaking out. No, I'm not speaking out of emotion or anger. No, I'm telling you the truth. What are you going to do with thoughts and prayers when your child has been blown up by a AK-47? What can you possibly do with that after the fact? Thoughts and prayers. Oh, thoughts and prayers. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, here's my condolences. What the fuck am I going to do with condolences? I can't do shit with that. Thoughts and prayers, condolences. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry this happened. oh, call me if you need anything. I'm here for you. I'm a shoulder to cry on. Call me anytime. I'm here for you. I'm here to listen. You know, we've been saying this. We've been saying this, that we want our children in school, but we want our children to be in school where they don't have to fear for their lives. The layman transgender communities is just scapegoating. It's scapegoating. It's a way to avoid personal responsibility. And these shootings will continue to happen because you avoid personal responsibility. What are you going to do about our kids dying every couple of months? Other countries don't have these problems. That's the truth. And it's mostly straight white men that are doing these killings. I'm sure some more have been transgendered women, transgendered men, but it's mostly straight white men doing these things. It's mostly straight white men shooting up grocery stores, shooting up, schools. You can't blame everything on mental illness. It seems to me, and I've heard it from Hecate, the queen of witches, that mental illness is just being used as an excuse, when in reality, people know exactly what they're doing. Not everything is mental illness. People, most of the time, know exactly what they are doing. You hear people on the news, the families of the victim, the families of the shooter saying, oh, we never saw this coming. She or he was a good person. She or he was a peaceful person. She or he never did anything wrong. We never saw any indication. Some people just snap. Not because they're crazy. Okay? Not because they're crazy. Some people just can't take no more and they snap. Now, the rumor going around now with the shooter that was transgender was because, the transgender person's parents did not accept their lifestyle. How do we know that? Because it sounds to me like that's just an excuse, once again, to attack the transgender community. And I'm afraid that attacks against people who are transgendered, who just mind their business, are going to be attacked. And, we have Pride Month in June coming up. Pride Month here in New York City is the largest celebration of the LGBTQ community on planet Earth. So I would advise my friends and you witches who happen to be transgendered to maybe not go to Pride, especially here in New York, because I'm pretty sure you will be targeted. America has a long memory. Americans have a hard time forgiving. You always have those radicals out for revenge. So since the shooter was transgender, I feel like it's gonna be revenge against the entire community, which is wrong. You can't blame the entire community for what one transgender person did. You can't, because that's stupid. That's why America has a gun problem. You hear lawmakers, politicians say, give guns to teachers. I even heard, let veterans of war who suffer from PTSD guns and let them be stationed in a kindergarten class. Can you imagine a veteran who has PTSD with a gun, doing security in a kindergarten class? What the fuck? Do you know about kindergartners? I was a bad kindergartner. Kindergartners are loud. Veterans who have PTSD do not do well with loud noises. Kindergartners are loud. Kindergartners are aggressive. They're too much. Okay? It's the guns. It's not the trans community. It is the guns. And no, I'm not saying you should give up your guns. I believe in the Second Amendment. But I don't believe that you need a weapon of war. I do not believe you need an anti-aircraft gun to bring down a commercial plane. For what? You have no answer. Oh, well, you never know. What you mean you never know? Why would you need an anti-aircraft gun to bring down a commercial plane? For what? It is the guns. And I know this might turn a lot of you witches off who own guns or, really passionate about preserving the Second Amendment. But as witches and as a high priestess myself, we must be honest and not lie and live in a fantasy land. It is the guns. And the only thing that, can I say it? The only thing that Republicans tend to care about is just giving you thoughts and prayers. I can't do shit with that. That's not going to bring my child back. That's not going to do anything. It does nothing. It doesn't help me. That's an excuse. And then they pass laws behind closed doors to increase the Second Amendment. They pass laws behind closed doors to continue to hurt the trans community. Continue to demonize the trans community. These people are obsessed with other people's sexual organs. Why do you care about another man's dick? Why do you care about another woman's pussy? Why do you care? How does being transgendered ruin your day? How does being transgendered ruin your day? It does not ruin your day at all, because it's none of your business what somebody does behind closed doors. A lot of you who are against trans people need to mind your own business and go find some business to mind, because you're doing too much. You're too damn nosy. And you never want to lose your nose to spite your face. You never want to do that. You never want that to happen to you. You need your nose. How the hell are you going to breathe? Okay? Find out. Be one of those people who have to sit their nose on a nightstand before you go to bed because you got it broken because you had your nose in somebody else's business. You need to mind your business. It comes down to minding your business. How does being trans ruin your day? Oh, well, the Bible. I don't care about the Bible. I don't care about the Bible. The Bible no longer fits the times. It's no longer relevant. The Bible is nothing more than an ancient book of nonsense. It's stupid. Oh, well, the Bible says you can't do this. I don't remember any passage in the Bible. And remember, I'm a former Christian. I don't remember any passage in the Bible that particularly mentions trans people. Do you? No, of course you don't. because it's not there. It's not there. It's not there. This is just another way to hurt the trans community by blaming all trans people for this unfortunate shooting. Let me say again, before someone here misquotes me, those people and children did not deserve to die. But evidently something went wrong inside of that mind of that shooter that made him or her go up and put bullets in those people. Evidently somebody snapped. But you're not going to blame the entire trans community for it. You can't. Because that's stupid. Oh, a trans person shut up a Christian school. You see, these trans people are against Christians. They're trying to kill off Christians. They're trying to hurt Christians. But no Christian is asking, why didn't Christ protect those kids? Oh, because Jesus can't overstep your free will. That's a crock of shit. That's a crock of shit. Offended? You would be okay. Offended? You would be okay. And if you're not okay, too damn bad. Too damn bad. Because you know it's true. You know it's true. Why didn't Christ protect his own people? Why didn't he stop the shooting from happening? Why didn't he stop the shooting from happening? Nobody seems to have an answer for that. The only answer Christians can come up with is, oh, Jesus can't overstep somebody's free will. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. He does it a lot in the Bible. Read your Bible and you won't be confused. Read your Bible from front to cover and you won't be confused. Read your Bible from the front to the back and you won't be confused. You won't be, unless you want to stay ignorant. Unless you want to stay ignorant. We're not going to blame trans people for what one trans person did. And I know this shooting involving this transgender person is going to make lawmakers come down harder on them. They're going to try to make being transgendered illegal, punishable by death, punishable by time served in jail, life sentences. They hate. If you're transgendered, you're hated. If you are trans, you are hated. I know you are. And if you're trans, I know you're feeling kind of nervous about even leaving your house now because you're in fear of being targeted because of this shooting, when it was just one trans person. You don't hear many news outlets saying, oh, this trans person was mentally ill. All you hear is, this was a trans person. No mental illness. No word of mental illness. You just hear this person was trans. And especially on the cover of one newspaper, I believe it was the New York Post, it said transgender person shoots up school, shoots up Christian school. The media, most of the media didn't come up with the obvious, notable excuse of mentally ill person who did not have their parents or father, or don't know who their father was in their life, snaps and shoots up a school. Their headline was, which makes people buy newspapers, was transgender person shoots up Christian school. Even though Christian schools are not schools because they do not educate. They do not. They're not schools. You don't learn anything. That's the truth. You might be offended if you're watching this replay and you happen to be a Christian, or watching it now live and be a Christian, but it's the truth. Christian schools are not schools because they do not educate. And like I said, like 4 times now, I'm not saying these people, these children deserve to die. But it's not a school. It's not a school. If you're offended by that, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. And if it's not, if you rewatch this, you'll be okay. If you're never okay with this, too damn bad, so what? It's still true. It's still true. You can't blame the entire transgender community for what one trans person did. You cannot. That's stupid. That is stupid. Transgender people really have to be alert after this shooting, because I know attacks against this group of people are going to increase. I know there are going to be more laws against this particular group of people because of this shooting, and lawmakers are going to try to categorize them all as transgender terrorists, transgender activists on the loose, running wild. They're going to have headlines saying trans people are Christians' worst nightmare. They're worse than the gays. They're worse than the lesbians. They're worse than the bisexual. They're worse than the queer community. I don't know why. And I used to be a devout Christian. I don't know why Christians are so obsessed with the LGBTQ community. I don't know why. I don't know how being transgendered ruins their day. I don't know how does that ruin your day? And some Christians will answer that question by saying it's just the thought of somebody changing their penis to a vagina and changing their vagina to a penis. That doesn't sit right with my spirit. Let me tell you something. Okay? If somebody's penis or vagina bothers your spirit, you're mentally ill. You're mentally ill. Why do you care about somebody else's penis or vagina? Are you eating it? Can I say it like that? Of course I can. Are you sucking it? Can I say it like that? Of course I can. That's weird. You're a weirdo. You're a weirdo. Christians have said that to me when I asked them, why are you so concerned about a penis and a vagina? They have said to me, oh, well, it's the thought. Why are you thinking about somebody else's penis or vagina? Why are you thinking about that? There's something wrong with you, you freak. That's the truth. That is the truth. You might not like it. You might say, how can you see something so terrible? It's the truth. It's truth. I don't care to know what somebody else is doing with their penis or vagina. I don't care. I don't. I really don't. Because it's none of my business. I'm not nosy. I'm not concerned about what somebody is doing with another grown person in a bedroom behind closed door. I don't need to know. Being trans does not ruin my day. It does not affect my day. And a lot of people that you worship, a lot of celebrities and politicians, you would never know they were trans unless they told you. Some people have excellent surgeries done that you cannot tell the difference between them being a man or a woman unless they told you. You might be surprised. You might be surprised that your favorite celebrity, your favorite politician, or anybody that you admire is actually transgendered. And you don't, it's not a need to know if that person is truly your friend. It's a need to know if you are in a relationship with that person. Of course, that transgender person should tell you, must tell you. It's required to tell you, okay? Because not everybody likes that, which is fine. That's fine. But you would never know. You would never know unless that person told you. If that person, when somebody confesses that they are transgender to you, they trust you enough to hold on to that secret and not reveal it, because they may not have come out to family and friends, and you happen to be that family friend or that family member that they trust to hold that secret until they're ready to tell other people. It's not a need to know. You don't need to know anything. You don't. It's none of your business. It's none of your business. If you are concerned about what somebody has between their legs, you are a pervert. You are a pervert. Okay? That's the truth. You might not like it, but it's the truth. It is. I don't care what you have between your legs. If you're my friend, you're my friend. I don't judge my friends. I'm loyal to my friends. And I'm protective of my friends. And I'm going to be even more protective of my friends who are transgendered. You're not going to bully my trans friends. It's not that kind of party. It's not going down like that. You can bully somebody who's weak, but you're not going to bully my trans friends at all. I will curse you. If you bully my trans friends, which I know is going to happen after the shooting occurred, if you bully my trans friends, I will curse you. That's a promise. Because I'm loyal to my friends. I'm faithful to my friends. And you're not going to go scot-free. No, thank you. No, thank you. It's not going to happen. It's not that kind of party. So, don't play with me. Okay? Don't play with me. I am going to protect my trans friends. I am. All that bullying and condemning trans people are over. It's over. It's been over. It should have been over years and years ago. Like I said earlier, I'm not saying the victims of the shooting deserve to die. I'm not saying they deserve to die. But like I said, all of these laws against trans people, all of these trans people being treated like a dog on the street that's on its last leg. What do you expect to happen? What is a man to do when he can't take no more? What is somebody supposed to do when they can't take no more? There are multiple laws about to be passed against trans people. And I believe those laws are going to extend to having them put to death. Have them spend long terms in prison because they're trans. And these lawmakers are going to use the Bible as an excuse. Oh, well, Jesus says he does not want any flesh to perish. But he never said he loved everybody. Read your Bible and you won't be confused. Jesus never said he loved everybody. He said he wishes for no flesh, nobody to perish. That's what he said. So lawmakers are going to use that excuse. They're going to use their Bible as an excuse to, make trans people out to be criminals. Make the whole community out to be criminals. And with the Supreme Court, the conservative Supreme Court, which I believe should be extended. We should have more than, how many people we have on the Supreme Court? About 9 people. It should be extended. There should be term limits to being on the Supreme Court. It should not be a lifetime thing. Okay? When you are a judge on the Supreme Court, you're there for life. No, you should not be there for life. There should be term limits, okay? You're too damn old. You're too damn old to be making rulings. Because the older you get, your mind starts to go. And you no longer start to live in reality. There are people who have been on the Supreme Court for freaking 40 years. And they don't change with the times. So they lived maybe back in the 1950s when trans people were really getting their ass kicked. There should be term limits on the Supreme Court. You're too damn old to be a judge. It's time to wrap it up. And the court should be extended. That's the truth. We have a conservative Supreme Court that is going to agree that, hurting trans people is actually constitutional, but it is not constitutional because everybody has the right to privacy. And some people might go as far to say that trans people have no right to privacy because they are not people. They are he, she, they, we. Listen, trans people are she or he. That's it. Trans people are either he or she. They're not they or we or us. They're not. That's bullshit. And hopefully we will not have a president that signs off on that, saying, yeah, we have to get rid of trans people. They're hurting the Christians. We have to protect these Christians. We have to protect God's chosen. We have to protect God's anointed. We have to protect God's prophets. We have to protect these apostles. We have to think about the children. We don't have to think about climate change and global warming and nature and the environment. And we also have to ban TikTok too. All the problems in the world, and with all the problems in the world, you're worried about a trans person. All these problems we have in this country, and you're worried about a trans person, just one trans person that shut up a school. Because you want to protect the Christian blood, the Christian bloodline. But yet Christ could not even protect his own school. That's a fact. That might sound harsh, that might sound downright evil. I don't care. It's the truth. It's the truth. The opinion is garbage. That sounds mean. But it's true. It's true. You can't blame you can't blame an entire community on what one trans person did. You cannot. Because they're not all the same. There are people in the trans community grieving about this. Not because they might be targeted because they're trans, but because somebody in their own community committed this crime. people in the trans community are not celebrating a Christian school being shut up. They're grieving along with their families that lost their children. Oh, but that's okay though, because we can just give them thoughts and prayers. I don't want that shit. If my child was a victim and died in a school shooting, I don't want no fucking thoughts and prayers. I can't do shit with that. Is that going to bring my child back to life like Jesus brought Lazarus back from the dead? No, it's not. So don't fuck with me. Okay? That does nothing. It doesn't do nothing. Every time a shooting happens, it's thoughts and prayers, and then blaming mental illness. And now people are saying, you can't say this school shooting happened because we took God out of school. This was a Christian school, even though Christian schools are not schools, like I said like 10 times now. And this happened in a conservative state of Nashville, Tennessee. In Tennessee, it's easy to get a gun. In the southern states, it's easy to get a gun. You can walk into like any Dick's store or Walmart and buy a fucking gun. It's easy. Then you have people saying, well, I'm not giving up my guns until it's their child that is liquefied by an automatic weapon. When their child is shut up and their insides are liquefied by an automatic weapon, then they will give up these weapons of war that they don't need. That sounds pretty graphic, but that's what happens when weapons of war is used on a person. They're basically liquidized. They turn to liquid. Okay, their organs are all fucked up. Okay, they look like ground beef. Okay, can I say it like that? I know that's a graphic image, but it's a real image. That's what they look like. Okay, it's the guns that's the problem. How many times are you going to blame mental illness when it turns out the person is in fact very sane? Not everybody is mentally ill. Some people know exactly what they are doing. It's not because they don't have Christ in their life. Some people are just crazy. Some people just decide some days to shoot up a school, shoot up a supermarket. People are going to do what they want to do. People are going to do what they want to do. And you can't stop them. You could try to talk them out of it, because I'm pretty sure this person talked to somebody about doing this or wrote something about doing this before they actually committed this crime. We will never know because the shooter was, killed. But I'm pretty sure this person had a conversation or wrote something down about this happening before they actually did it. I'm pretty sure. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But to blame the entire trans community is called scapegoating. It's Christians saying, you see. Do you see now how these trans people are? Do you see now why we have to pass these laws against trans people? You see now why we have to treat them like a dog on the street on its last leg? It's horrible. It's terrible. Oh my God, oh Christ, help me, help us. Protect us from these trans people. Protect our children. This was a Christian school. Why didn't Christ protect his sheep? Look, listen. I'm almost done, by the way. People are going to do what they want to do. People are going to do what they want to do. And you can't stop it. You have to start at the federal level. You have to pass laws that prevent you from buying weapons of war. You do not need an automatic weapon. People who buy those big weapons are probably making up for something small that they have in their pants. Or a man buys a big gun because he has a small dick. That's true in many cases. That's true in many, many cases. That is true. It is true. I don't like it, but it's true. Or they want to feel like a tough guy. They want to be big and bad. They want to feel like a somebody when they are nobody. And you're going to hear it in churches this Sunday. You're going to hear it. You're going to hear pastors and ministers and prophets and prophetess and apostles and deacons up in church condemning trans people and encouraging their congregation to go out and harass and beat the shit out of trans people. Of course they are. They're going to tell their congregation, if you find somebody who's trans, beat their ass. Just make sure those people are not my friends, because I will curse you. I will curse you. No doubt. No doubt. You're not going to bully my trans friends at all. It's not going down like that. But yeah, this Sunday, you're going to see people at the altar, at the pulpit, saying to go out and actively confront, harass, and beat up trans people. That Jesus would want them to go out and beat up trans people. Yes. So I know some of you Christians watching this live, watching this on replay, is going to hear what I just said in your church this Sunday. Go out and find a trans person and get revenge for just what one trans person did. Blame the whole community, not just one. Gonna hear it at church this Sunday. Look. You see what they did to our children? We can't use the excuse that we took God out of school because this was a Christian school, but we can't put the blame on the entire trans community. And that's why we need to protect our children by passing laws to hurt trans people. We have to get rid of trans people. Please, somebody, Jesus Christ, somebody think of the children. Please. Please think of it. Please give us thoughts and prayers. Why didn't those same thoughts and prayers prevent this shooting? You know, when a gay nightclub gets shot up, Christians cheer. They celebrate. But you don't see any trans people celebrating a Christian school, which is not a school, by the way, getting shot up. I haven't been notified of any trans celebrating the shooting that took place. But Christians will throw a party like it's New Year's Eve when a gay club gets shut up. They will say, oh, well, that person was doing God's work. Maybe if they were not gay, they would not have been killed. Well, I can say the same thing about your child. Oh, well, if that child was not in a Christian school, they would not have gotten shot up. Oh, well, that child was probably failing their classes anyway. Oh, well, that child was probably a dumbass anyway. They had no reason to live anyway. So they're dead. So what? I could say that. Oh, I think I just did. No, what I just said was what is said behind closed doors. Shh. Don't tell anybody. You see how you have to be careful what you said? Because I can say something worse. People can say something worse. I can say, oh, well, I hope you had life insurance for that brat. I can say that. Oh, well, you didn't have enough life insurance. Oh, well, go into debt paying for your child's funeral. I can say that. That sounds horrible what I just said. Talking about dead children. This is what is being said behind closed doors, away from the media. It's just the first time some of you are hearing it live here. It's the truth. This is what's being said behind closed doors to people who celebrate gay parades and gay clubs being shot up. Oh well. One less person, one less brat. But we don't need to talk about that though. We just like to send thoughts and prayers. That doesn't do anything. Don't you understand that? It doesn't do anything. You need real, significant, and permanently positive change, or these things will continue to happen. I know a lot of you are transgender and also happen to be witches. I know some of you, many of you here are trans, and you also happen to be a witch, which is awesome. But you need to watch your back more so than ever before, because right now you have a huge target on your back. People, crazy ass people, are going to be out for revenge against the trans community because of this action, because of what one trans person did. You have to be alert. If you feel like something is off, or you're not feeling the situation, or if you ever feel unsafe for somebody, just leave. Don't go nowhere with someone you don't really know, or someone you're not really cool with, or you might have suspicion that this person might hurt you or kill you. Leave. Always protect yourself. Carry some type of protection on you. Carry a taser, pepper spray, a gun, something. Hell, put a rock inside of a sock and carry that with you. You have to protect yourself more so than ever before. If you happen to be, a person might just snap if they find out that you're trans and also a witch. That might really set them off. Oh, I'm trans and I'm also a witch. Oh, okay, so you want to get your ass kicked for real. You have to protect yourself more so now than ever before if you happen to be trans. You have to. Because people are going to be looking for revenge. I expect a revenge killing to come after this. I expect it to happen. It's inevitable that it will happen. It's inevitable that Christians will be seeking revenge against the shooting at their school, when you would think that their Lord and Savior Christ would protect his sheep, would protect his people. And obviously he did not. And Christians say, oh, well, Jesus cannot infringe on somebody else's free will. That's bullshit. He does it all the time in the Bible. So what are you talking about? Okay, so that was my broadcast for tonight. We have been here for almost an hour, a little bit over an hour, and I needed to come on here. I needed to speak to the trans community. I needed to speak on the shooting and make it clear that you can't blame an entire community for what one person did. One trans person shot up a school, not the trans community. One trans person. not the trans community. And I set out a very stern warning to trans people who also happen to be witches to stay alert, to protect themselves, to listen to their intuition, to listen to the Queen of Witches, Hecate, and to protect, I cannot say it enough, to protect themselves always. Your life matters. If you're trans, your life matters. If you're of any part of the LGBTQ community, your life matters. If you feel like you're going to kill someone, call 911. Talk to a therapist or a psychiatrist. Hex that person instead. Curse that person instead. You don't have to necessarily go get a gun and blow their head off. Hex or curse that person. And Hecate, the Queen of Witches, will add her strength to your own to make sure that hex or that curse reaches its target. And it will reach its target. Okay? So this was a very important broadcast. I will upload this broadcast also to YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook so that it can be seen everywhere. No matter what time or what day you're watching this broadcast, it's going to be important that you share this broadcast. It's important that you share this broadcast so that the trans community know that there is a high priestess here in New York who has their back, that will hold them down, that will protect them, and that they matter, and that what happened at the school was not their fault. It was the fault of one person. So thank you, witches, for joining me tonight. And with that, I release you into the rest of your evening. Bye, everyone.